So one of the biggest challenges has been moving in and out of lockdown, having to do our classes online and then jumping straight back into venues and then going online and back to venues again, and trying to keep up the level of communication with our customers so they knew exactly what was happening as the lockdown situations changed.
We recognise that in our sector, going online is something that educationally had to happen for a lot of families. But we deal with very small children and young babies, and going online was an enormous challenge, particularly with the distractions that potentially were going to be in people's homes. So that in itself was going to be a massive challenge to keep our little ones engaged and to keep their grown-ups having fun in the background too. We rearranged all of our lesson plans. We restructured the plans of what we were delivering, and we believed that we wanted to keep everybody fully on board and to have them maximising their opportunity to participate. So we had all the families joining in. I name-checked all of the siblings, all of the extra dads who are working from home, so they could be participating in our sessions. And it wasn't just the little person who was attending Monkey Music, but it was actually the full whammy, all the whole family too.
We were able to offer our customers pay-as-you-go classes. So normally we'd ask people to sign up for a long period of time, but people were able to opt in and opt out and just sign up for one or maybe two classes. And then if they didn't want to do it for a couple of weeks, they could do that. And then they could jump back in.
That really helped, particularly for the volatility that people found in their own family lives. So it meant that we were really being innovative in that particular situation. And it's something that I think families were hugely grateful for. It particularly gave us the agility to be able to move with the times as and when we were needing to be able to do that. But equally, when we were back out of lockdown, we were then going back into the classroom again, where families were really, really pleased to have that social and that emotional connection with each other. That was the bit that they'd been missing by being online. However, our online classes, we extended the facility to be able to have a class, but additionally we left a chat room environment for our families to be able to talk to each other, to communicate. So even though they couldn't meet each other, they could still have that friendship, and that bond that we build by doing Monkey Music was then being able to be materialised in our classes online as well as back in venues again.
In addition to the online classes, we also created a video, so an extra 15-minute video that the customers could have to watch at their own time whenever they wanted to, which I think they enjoyed. We got a lot of positive feedback about that. So they could literally, if their child wanted to watch it, they could. So I think some people watched it a lot of times, from what we gather. And also, our head office pushed forward a plan to introduce bespoke branded instruments. So those were pushed through quite quickly, and then it meant customers could have those at home to join in online, rather than having maybe a bottle with some rice in. They could actually have a proper maraca or a drum or a tambourine. So we plan to keep moving the business forward by maintaining the high level of customer service we've found to be invaluable during the lockdown period. We took a lot of time and effort to call people, to email people, as Flick mentioned earlier, to have online chats afterwards, just so people felt important. They were not just customers to us, they were sort of part of our Monkey Music family.
And going forwards, we've been able to maintain some online classes, which has meant that those families who were concerned about being out and in the environment that perhaps was strange to them, they could stay at home, they could continue doing classes. Plus, we had some global families who've maintained their Monkey Music attendance by being able to do things online. So in our global attendance, it also gave us the opportunity to run some online Monkey Music parties. And we had a few parties with audiences from Nigeria and Australia and far from our own Oxfordshire location. And when we were running our online classes, we had at one stage people attending classes from every continent except Antarctica.
We did have a customer who tried to get a friend in Antarctica to join the class, but that sadly didn't work out.
So one of our Monkey Music families has an Oxford University professor as one of the dads who comes to class, and he felt that was an amazing opportunity to engage his students and their families to be able to have an online experience to be able to lift their spirits and give them the power of music at home. And that was an enormously appreciated experience for the Oxford University students and their families. I think running a business as a couple is a challenge, and running a business in a pandemic is an even greater challenge. But we've had some amazing support from head office. They have really given us the confidence to be able to go forwards and to be able to find the way that was a success and to go with our gut instincts, but also have guidance. We also have a phenomenal support network within our fellow franchisees, and we work very much together as a team. And I think that filters through to us working as a team together too. We work in the office and we work at home generally in harmony. And most of the time we find the way best forwards, but sometimes there are a few hiccups along the way, but you generally find a happy solution.
I think I probably would recommend it. I think the amazing thing is that we can rely on head office to give us the structure and all the knowledge, and everything is set up correctly. And sometimes it feels like it's quite a lot of information you have to deal with, but at least you know it's the right information. So you know you're on the right path, everything's been done as it should be. And it's all there in place to help you.
I think particularly with the last year or so that we've been through, with the incredible challenges that there have been, being part of a franchise system has given us an enormous amount of advantages, because we know that there are certain things that we can focus on, which are at ground level and at customer level, where we really want to be shining. And our head office have been able to dot the I's, cross the T's, and be able to give us that freedom and that confidence to be able to power forwards and to be able to produce a wonderful product in terms of what our classes are, knowing that what's going on in the background is all really, really solid. And we would really like to thank our head office team for all that they do, because without them, we wouldn't be there.
I think a great example of that is when the first lockdown was announced. We were obviously in face-to-face classes. All of a sudden, Boris made the announcement, and we all thought, what's going to happen? But 4 weeks later, our booking system had been changed over, so we were offering online classes, the links for the online classes. The whole thing had been done within a month. So 4 weeks after lockdown was announced, you were live streaming.
Suddenly the guest bedroom became a studio.
And the cat's piece disappeared.
I had a wonderful opportunity to be able to choose monkey music because I had experienced it as a teacher for the monkey music franchise in Cardiff when we lived there. And I loved the content of the curriculum. I found that it was completely age appropriate. The background I have with singing in choirs and also a Montessori teaching background, the two married beautifully together. So having had a teaching experience, then to be able to move to our location where we are now and see that the franchise was available to buy, it was just heaven sent. It was perfect. And Richard at that time had an opportunity to be able to step away from the world he'd been involved with in classical church music, but to be able to step in to become Mr. Admin.
Mr. Admin, Mr. Tactful and Diplomatic. Looking after the customers. I think it's something I've had to learn to do, and it's very satisfying. And I think all the comments we get back from customers saying lots of thanks and really, really thrilled that we give them the service we do.